Welcome to the Pamodzi Inspirational Women of Portsmouth Awards podcast. I'm Hannah Roper, founder and director of the Female Creative Coaching and Mentoring, creating a safe space for independent businesses to reduce the overwhelm, gain clarity, and meet their goals with intention and confidence. Pamodzi means together, and that is the ethos behind the Inspirational Women of Portsmouth Awards. We are bringing together Portsmouth and the surrounding area, celebrating the women who positively impact their tribe and contribute to their community. We really hope you enjoy this series of podcast interviews, which introduces some of the wonderful supporters of this year's event. In this episode, we are speaking to Helen Reeder. Helen is representing the National Education Union, who are one of our award sponsors. Helen is National Executive Member of the NEU and Joint Secretary of the Portsmouth District, and is also a full-time primary school teacher. The NEU is the union for every education professional. It was formed in 2017 following the amalgamation of the National Union of Teachers and the Association of Teachers and Lecturers. As the largest education union, they have a powerful voice and have been effective in winning improvements to members' working conditions and shaping an education system that works for all. So, let's hear more from Helen. Welcome, Helen. Thank you so much for joining us for the Pamodzi Inspirational Women of Portsmouth Awards podcast. So let's jump straight in. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Helen Reeder. I'm a teacher in Portsmouth and have been for 21 years. And I also work for the NEU.
Fantastic. So as you know, Pamodzi is all about bringing people together to celebrate the inspirational women of Portsmouth and the positive impact they have on their community. So tell us about the activities that you are doing to empower women in Portsmouth.
Well, I feel I have two roles. So at that, as the teacher, I feel it's my job to empower the children, the girls, especially in my class, so that they are aware of the life that they could have, so that make sure that I open their eyes to the opportunities that are available to them, and make sure that they don't put any limitations on themselves. I find some of the children in Portsmouth do put limitations on themselves, and so I feel really strongly the fact that I want to open their eyes to the world outside them and to make sure that they embrace those opportunities and don't limit themselves. And then as a unionist, I support women I'm a caseworker in the city, so if the teachers have any issues, then it's my job to go in there. But also, knowledge is power. So as the Secretary of Portsmouth NEU, Joint Secretary, then I make sure that those women have the advice and support that they need. And I hope that over my many years, 15 years of being a caseworker, that I have supported women in their jobs and when they have had issues and concerns. I do feel that many women may have just given up their job or may have succumbed to the pressures that were put upon them. But by having someone just sitting by the side of them, by supporting them, by giving them the knowledge, by giving them advice and support, so then they were able to continue in their careers and then go on from there.
Thank you so much. So tell me, what does supporting Pamodzi mean to you?
Well, I love the event. The NEU has supported you for a few years now, and we love the event. I always feel really empowered while I'm sitting there and I watch these women go up and listen to their stories and what they have achieved. And the support and the love in the room for the women is just amazing. There's never any tittle-tattle or backstabbing. Oh, look what she's wearing. Oh, I would never have put that on. Or her bum looks big in that. There is just love in that room. And I come out of there thinking, yeah, I love being a woman. I love supporting women in Portsmouth. So, yeah, that's what...
It's such an incredible experience, isn't it? Like, say, being in that room, everyone is just cheering each other on, and there is something really special and really magical that you can't see, but you can just feel it the moment that you walk in. And that's why I'm just I'm even more excited for this year's event because there's even more people that we've been able to involve. And absolutely fantastic. So many of the nominees of the Pamodzi Inspirational Women of Portsmouth Awards have overcome many a challenge, which has inspired them to do what they do. What challenge have you had to overcome and what has it taught you?
There's not been an event, when I thought about this question, there's not been an event that I've had to overcome. There has been slight bumps along the way. Like I have been told, oh, you can't work in that year group because you've got young children and you wouldn't have time to do that. So there's general things like that have happened along the way. But when I thought about this, I thought my biggest challenge is time. And I'm not sure I have overcome that.
I don't know if any of us have yet.
Sleep is completely overrated. But yeah, as a mum, as a wife, as a daughter, because I'm a carer for my mum as well, as a teacher, as a unionist, it's just time. But what I have learned from that, because that isn't, as you've said, that isn't going to be solved. What I have learned from that is that when you do get those special moments in the classroom, when I've supported somebody as my union work with my children, in the walks of life, that I embrace that moment.
Yes.
And I take time to reflect on it, love it, enjoy it, take a picture of it, remember it.
Yeah.
And that's what I take from that.
And I think it's celebrating those small wins, isn't it? I work with a lot of women in business, and one of their biggest challenges that I find is almost being able to seek out those small wins, because a lot of us have big goals, we want to achieve things, we want to have that positive impact. It's why we do what we do. But if we take time to celebrate, however small it might be, that is so motivational and that's so inspiring to somebody else as well. So I think that's a fantastic thing to take away from it. And yeah, if you ever do figure out the whole time thing, please do let me know. But thank you so much for coming and joining us here today, Helen. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Before we finish, tell us where people can find out more about the NEU and yourself.
We have the website that people can go to. We have a local website as well, so neu.org.uk. My email address is on there as well, and I would encourage anybody who wants to find out about the NEU just to drop me a line. More than happy to chat. We're also very sociable. We have many social events that go on through the year. So yeah, we would welcome anybody to come along to those.
Thank you so much. And we are coming to the end of this episode. So before we go, I've got 2 further questions for you. The first one, which I'm realising how much of a difficult question this can be to answer, is who inspires you?
Well, again, when I thought about this, I don't have one person. But what I have done over the years is I have surrounded myself with people that I love, who support me.
So I just take a moment.
Who love and support me and care about me, don't want to knock me down. I've got rid of those people. And so now I've got all of those people that surround me. They're the people that inspire me. I look to them to talk to support. So they're the people that inspire me, my good buddies.
And that's so important to have that, because I think probably so many of us and so many of our listeners will have had experiences where they haven't had that supportive network. They haven't had the right people around them. And that can do so much damage to our self-confidence and our self-belief. But that moment that you do find the right people and it changes, that's just pure magic. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with us today. And your final question, who would be your most inspirational dinner guest, past or present?
I've chosen Nelson Mandela.
Fabulous.
I would love to have dinner with him. I'd love to know how he had the strength to stay in prison all that time and not come out and be an angry man. He came out and still wanted to carry on the good fight. He still wanted to fight for equality. And he kept going right until the day he died. And he achieved so much in his life. He was never supposed to achieve all of what he achieved. And I totally admire him. So, yeah, I would love to sit there and quiz him at my dinner table.
And just fire questions at him.
It'd have to be like a 20-course dinner just to keep it.
Thank you so much, Helen, for joining me here today. And thank you to everyone that has been listening in. What a fantastic interview. Just a reminder that the Pamodzi Inspirational Women of Portsmouth Awards is at Portsmouth Guildhall on Friday, the 10th of March 2023. If you would like to find out more about the event, buy a ticket or nominate who inspires you, then please head to our website www.pamodzicreatives.com or our Instagram, which is at Pamodzi_creatives, or Facebook and LinkedIn, Pamodzi Creatives. Thank you once again for listening to these podcasts, and we will see you at the event in March.